Oh yeah, okay, this is going to be a kind of like a video blog of me walking around my garden. What I'm going to do is I'm going to point out all the bits in my garden that are relevant. So yeah, this is going to be it. So first off, we're going to start by the back door. That's the back door. And they've got the Pieris. And then from there, we have the veg plot, which is, well, next year I'll be growing all my veggies, hopefully. You can see there, that's where the garlic is growing up there. And then from the side, we've got a mix of plants. We've got some bellis, we've got some aubrietia, and we've got some polyanthus. I was told to keep them in because they could help attract pollinators for the early spring stuff. So, with luck. There we go. Okay, moving on. I've got a yucca, which is about 4 years old. That was a plant that I found that somebody had thrown out. Next to that is a camellia that my mum bought for me. It's not done very well this year. If you look, you can see all the very damaged leaves from last year when the aphids attacked it and absolutely did a number on it. The pot, which is where I've got all my bulbs, in there is tulips, and oh god, I've forgotten, Mombretia or Crocosmia, and there's something else as well, and I've forgotten what it is. Well done me. These are the stuff that we got from work. We've got 2 winter flowering verbena, that's this one here and that one there, and a berberis, which is this one here, with all the, I hate those bittercress in it. Moving past my compost bin, we've got a Scots pine that I really need to plant somewhere because it's not doing very well in that tiny pot. And if I take a few steps back, we've got the cotinus, if I can do something without the sunlight. Cotinus, or the smoke bush, that will be getting a pruning this year. Moving out of the sunlight. That's going to get a pruning this year. Going to take it back by about half. So that it starts to fill out again. This year it was very stringy. Moving back down here, we have a spirea, a purple spirea. Very bushy, but it's not done much over the past couple of years. I don't know why. Behind that we've got a cineraria, a Silesia cineraria. Rudbeckia, which is the black-eyed Susan. You can see it there. On the floor here, I have a ground cover conifer. I got that. It was a pound for the plant. It was a tiny thing, but it's really come on. It was only about that big when I got it, and now it's starting to spread. It's doing well now. Next to it is yarrow. That's actually a bigger area than you might think. Some of it's died back under the ground, but it is there. Coming back, we've got Huchera. Only really good for its foliage. The flowers in it are pretty naff, really. This area here is a plant called Coreopsis. It's this stuff here. It's quite fern-like with yellow flowers. It's actually quite nice. Some polyanthus at the back there, and a Bergenia elephant's ear. That's the one in the front with the large leaves there. Next to that we've got a very well established foxglove that will be spiking next year because this is its first year where it's been growing. And if we look, that is a ladybug, if I can get it to focus. A ladybug on the leaf. Well, it's not gonna focus, is it? Bloody thing. Yeah, so that was quite to that. I didn't expect to see a ladybird today. Oh, look at that. Are you gonna focus? No, you know. Oh well, whatever. Anyway, ladybird. I have no idea what this is. It's very nice. It's got a very delicate little yellow flower, but what it is I don't know. But I I actually rather like it, so I brought it home. So yeah, it's also got another growth over there, just in the middle of that Hypericum. That Hypericum was another find that I found in one of the parks. Somebody just dumped it over the wall, so I picked it up and brought it home. In here we've got a few new growths already for tulips. They're coming up already. That is osteospermum. I got that from work on my last couple of days. That was a gift from one of the guys who runs one of the parks. He gave me that. Some more aubrietia. These are all the aubrietia that I planted here are all from last year. They were all planted with the hopes of having some spring flowers this year. There you can see the Pyrrhus. It's not done very well for the past couple of years, probably because it's in totally the wrong place. But this year we have loads of buds on it. It's never had this many buds on it ever. So I've got really some good hopes for this plant this year. At the back of that is a hosta. You can't, obviously it's not pushing forward yet, but it is there. You can just see the mound where it was pushed in. And this is my pond. Now, I don't know most of the plants in the pond. All the plants were taken from either one of the schools that's got a pond, or the gift where I've lost the tags. So I know it's water hyacinths on the top, and there is a if I can get it to see it, this is the last leaf on a lily pad. Other than that, I'm not sure. This is Menthus. A lot of it is not doing very well, but it is winter time, so I'm hoping it just dies back for winter and it'll come back next year. I really need to get that planted somewhere. At the back we've got a Euronymous. That was in when we moved in 2002. It's gotten quite big, if you can see that there. Hopefully you can. I'm not very good at this photography thing. But yeah, also the two plants next to it, I actually got those by taking cutting from that and just literally sticking it in the ground. I took a cutting and I thought, right, oh, there we go, and just stuck it in the ground, and they've done quite well. And they're much greener than that one is. That one's quite a light green, and those two are dark green. Can't explain that. Cordyline. That was another find in one. It was actually one of the first finds I found at the park. I brought that home in my first year working for the council, and that was planted in. All around it are lupins. There's quite a few of them around. There's about 4 at the back as well. When they come up in the springtime, you cannot see the cordyline at all. So, yeah, you make the most of it while you can. A perennial geranium, again something I got from work. They were throwing out a bunch of plants. This one's actually from a regrowth from one of the other plants that are around the front of the house. So this one's actually an orphan from those plants, which has been moved. Okay, here is a Centaurea, atropurpurea. This one is loved. Absolutely, I got loads of bees on this, carder bees mainly. They're absolutely full. Next to that you can see, now while I pan down the thing, there are loads of clumps of this, which is grape hyacinth, or muscari. There's loads of clumps of that up and down, so I'll pretty much be ignoring that from now on. Here we have spearmint. Now, I got this last year, and to be honest with you, it was very leggy last year. I'm hoping that this year it'll do much better, although the smell was absolutely wonderful. Okay, underneath that hidden is a lavender. This is a normal blue lavender. I do have some white lavender elsewhere in the garden, I'll show you that in a bit. Again, more muscari and another cineraria. This one is exactly the same as the other one, and both plants came up very well last year, so I'm hoping that they'll come back good as strong this year, although there's nothing showing yet. Well, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. My Aquilegia, that is it's an old plant, is that. It was a gift when we first moved in 2002. That was given to us by my mum. It has flowered faithfully every year, but the only problem is that everybody says, "Oh, you'll find plants all over the new growth all over the." There is none at all in the garden. It has never seeded anywhere else, and I don't know whether I'm doing something right or wrong. It's a bit annoying. Here we have. When I was planting some plants, I managed to scrape out some. Those are daffy tops. Bloody things. I don't know where I got them from. Another Aubrietia, some more muscaris. In one of my blog posts, I made a point of mentioning Osmia bicolor mason bees. Those are the snail shells that I've put to one side, so that if any do come round here, they'll find those, hopefully, and maybe if they've come this far north, then they might use something. I don't know. Feverfew. I can't remember the Latin name for feverfew, but it's got a really nice smell to it, so if ever you get some, you might enjoy that. Behind that is another yarrow spot, like the one behind us. Obviously it's been trimmed down to the ground, but it should come up quite nicely next year. More Aubrietia, more muscaris, and next to that is, if you can see that, is fennel. I had this in a pot for about 2 years, and it did absolutely nothing. It just got absolutely full of aphids, and it did nothing, never flowered, nothing. And then last year, in the springtime, I put it in the ground and said, well, if it doesn't do anything, then it's just going to die and it's going to get thrown in the bin. And it has absolutely come on no end. And look, there's loads of good growth on the floor there, you can see. And already there is fresh growth. So that's good. That's a rose campion. There are quite a few growths around. It does tend to walk. It used to be actually back there where that lamb's ear is, but over the years it's walked its way over here by putting new growth and then dying, and then new growth and dying. So that was weird. More Aubrietia, more muscaris, and this is my Eryngium, sea holly. Well, you can see some growth there. Oh, there's a bit of push up there, you can see that, but that seems to be it. Hopefully that'll come up. It's always been really good. Another very much a plant for bees. It tends to be garden bees and bufftails that are like that. This is my to pan out a bit. This is my juniper. During the summertime and the early spring, I find frogs in there. They seem to like to hide in there and then come out and go looking for slugs and snails. But you can frequently find frogs hiding in there. Not in the winter time though, because it's just too cold for them. Another Eryngium. There's actually multiples there now. If you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm hoping for even more this year. It's been really good show, that one. In the pot here there is a white spirea. This was a rescue from a garden centre. It was about £1.50 because the pot was broken and it was only growing on one side because it's obviously fallen over or something. And I picked it up, and the first year I had it, it did nothing. It just it just fixed its leaves and didn't flower at all. But then last year it had a wonderful spray of white, so that was well worth the like £1.50 I paid for that. Again, it's same as the plant that was over there, is a pot-bound version. I don't know why I've kept it in a pot, but I did, so it's now going to stay in a pot. That is the wildflower area, which I have absolutely no idea what's happening. There's plants in there and witchcraft, apparently, I don't know. Sempervivums in a pot. They've done really, really well. I only had like one rosette of each, and they've settled down and they flower every year now, so they're quite nice. This is a pot with some wild garlic in. Nothing showing yet, but it is quite early yet, so not sure. I'm hoping they'll come back. They had a wonderful smell. This is my, if I pan out again, this is my raspberry. It's got loads of, if I can get in close, it's got loads of buds on it. And what I've done is I've put on the wall 2 wires here, you can see them here, and down here. And I'm going to trail the plants over to the left underneath the window. And with luck, we might have some fruit next year. And then we come back a bit, and that's my greenhouse, absolutely battered this year by the wind. Yeah, that's going to be replaced this year. In a small pot here we've got a buddleia. It really doesn't like being in the pot, and I should really take it out, but I never have. In my greenhouse, seems funny that I'm opening when it's like that. In my greenhouse I have 2 abutilons that are still doing really well. I'm hoping that they'll carry on till next year so I can take them outside. You can see it's still flowering. Doing really well in there. I'm thinking actually putting them in the greenhouse was a good idea. But after saying that, it's been so mild. Coming up here, I've got some strawberries for next year, some geraniums, some scented geraniums. If you had smell-o-vision, that would be really good. Some more strawberries down here. These are 2 sweet peppers. I've cut them back, and I'm hoping that they'll lose all this and then come again next year. Let me get rid of those. In there is a jalapeno pepper. That's on its 3rd or 4th year, so that might be coming to the end of its life soon, so I might have to think about replacing that. We shall see, but it's still doing quite well, so I don't know, I might get 1 more year out of it. We'll find out. It's had to be repotted, by the way. If you look at there, you can see how I had to repot it, and where the moss growing at the bottom just didn't take to the new soil. So that's that. Let's close that. Yeah, because we don't want a draft. So I guess here we've got the vertical planting that I had a go at with the strawberries. I'll show you this one here. No, I won't. I'll show you this one here. Yes, the outer leaves are all finished, but in there we have new growth again, so they still work. Basically what you do is you put water in the top there, and it filters down all the way to the bottom and gets picked up. So yeah, that works. In the corner there, that is the bee hotel with a few still. Yeah, they're still covered. There's none of them gone. Back here a bit. That is my blueberry. On the floor here there are 2. That one and that one are normal blue lavender, but this one is actually 4 or 5 plants, and this one's a white lavender. Hopefully they should do quite well over winter. In the springtime I can pot them up either on their own, or I can put them in the ground, so they should do quite well. Okay, so that's one blueberry. That is the other that I was given by a friend. And now it's got plenty of... Get a bit closer. closer. It's got plenty of buds on it, so I'm hoping that this year I can put it into a bigger pot. Oh, I've just noticed on this one, if I can get it to focus, it's bursting already. I'm not sure that's a good thing because it's still only December. Going back a bit, I have my pond in a pot. It's really damped down for the winter, but it's still got loads of algae in it. It's really not good. This was a Christmas tree ring. It was taken on the other side of that. There's actually a cutting in it, and so this bit here is not very. I think it's actually off center. It's not very deep. But again, mason bees have made it their home, and hopefully they'll come out in springtime. Panning back, that's my insect hotel, pine cones and such like. It didn't do much. There was a few spiders in there and some very small beetles, but I didn't see too much. But my, whatever the hell that is, still don't know. I found it on the ground in one of the parks, and nobody seemed to know what it is. So I took a little bit, and it's done quite well. There's hardly any soil in there, but no, it's done quite well. So that sits there. Doesn't do much. Bottom up. This is. I know what this is. It's just a plant. I think it's just a wild plant, but it had some very small flowers on it that the bees seem to like, so I left it. This is a salix. It's a goat's. Oh, I forgot what it's called. I'll have to find the name of that and send it. It used to be my wall plant, which was literally around the corner there, hanging out the side of the outhouse. But I cut it. Somebody said if I do it now, I should be able to get away with it. So I cut it with a heel, and I've just stuck it in the soil. And with luck, it will root, and I'll be able to put it in the ground. The bees absolutely goat willow. I got there in the end. There's a goat willow. So with luck, that one will settle down. Again, another early flowering plant that bees love. So, has any of them opened? Oh, look. Looks like one of them might be opening there. Oh, two. Two might be opening. Yeah, early bees love it. So, we'll see. And that is all my back garden. If I get a chance and this one's recorded okay, then I might do around the front as well. That's it. Bye bye.